Upgrade is a 2018 Australian cyberpunk action film written and directed by Lee Whannell and starring Logan Marshall Green, Betty Gabriel, and Harrison Gilbertson. The film follows a technophobe who is implanted with a chip that allows him to control his body after a mugging left him paralyzed. The film was produced by Jason Blum under his Blumhouse Productions banner. After premiering on 10 March 2018 at South by Southwest, the film was released on 1 June 2018 in the United States by OTL Releasing and Blumhouse Tilt, and on 14 June 2018 in Australia. The film received positive reviews from critics, who called it one part The $6 Million Man, one part Death Wish revenge fantasy, and praised the film's dark humor and action sequences. Storyline. Great Race, an auto mechanic, lives with his wife Asha, who works for Cobalt, one of the companies contributing to human-computer augmentations. Gray asks Asha to help him return a refurbished car to his client Erin Keane, a renowned tech innovator. While visiting his home, Erin reveals his latest creation, a chip called STEM, that can manage a human's motor functions. Returning home, Gray and Asha's self-driving car malfunctions and crashes. Four men kill Asha and shoot Gray in the neck, severing his spinal cord. Gray returns home months later as a wheelchair-bound quadriplegic, under the care of his mother, Pamela. Asha's death and the inability of Det. Cortez to identify their attackers causes Gray to sink into depression. After a suicide attempt, he is visited by Erin, who convinces him to accept a STEM implant. Gray regains control of his limbs, and Erin has Gray sign a non-disclosure agreement, requiring Gray to pretend to still be paralyzed. While looking through a drone video feed of his wife's murder, Gray hears STEM speak in his mind. STEM says it can help Gray get revenge, and quickly identifies one of the assailants, Cirque Brantner, from the video. Gray breaks into Cirque's home and finds proof Cirque was upgraded through a secret military experiment, also connecting Cirque to a local bar called the Old Bones. Cirque arrives and attacks Gray, but STEM convinces Gray to temporarily give up control of his body, allowing STEM to turn Gray into a lethally efficient fighting machine, killing Cirque with little effort. Cortez later sees drone footage of Gray's wheelchair approaching Cirque's house, but his paralysis negates him as a suspect. Erin has tracked STEM's movements and berates Gray for his vigilantism. Gray reveals STEM is speaking to him, which appears to surprise Erin. Erin demands that Gray stop his investigation. Gray proceeds to the Old Bones and finds Tolan, another of the assailants. Gray allows STEM to torture Tolan to get the name of the assailant's ringleader, Fisk. Leaving the bar, Gray stumbles, and STEM informs him that Erin is attempting to shut them down remotely. STEM directs Gray to a nearby hacker, Jamie, who manages to remove STEM's input guard, then leaves just as Fisk and a companion arrives. Gray, with STEM's control restored, kills Fisk's companion. Gray returns home only for Pamela to see him walking, forcing him to reveal STEM's existence. Cortez arrives to interrogate them after finding Gray's wheelchair suspiciously abandoned at the Old Bones. She leaves after planting a listening device on Gray's jacket. Gray wishes to give up the hunt, but STEM explains that if they do, then Fisk will track them down and kill them. STEM reveals that the hack now allows it to control Gray's body even without Gray's permission. STEM uses Gray to drive to Fisk, causing an automated car to malfunction and crash into Cortez, who is tailing them. Cortez returns to Gray's home, where Pamela explains STEM. Gray and STEM find Fisk, who reveals that Gray's wife was not the main target. Rather, Fisk was hired to paralyze Gray so he could be implanted. Fisk's own upgrades outpace Gray's STEM-controlled movements. But when Gray taunts Fisk with the death of Cirque, his brother, Fisk reacts emotionally, allowing STEM to gain the upper hand and kill Fisk. Fisk's phone reveals messages from Erin, suggesting he'd orchestrated all the events. Gray storms Aaron's home, killing all personnel in his path, but is held at gunpoint by Cortez before he can kill Aaron. Aaron confesses how STEM forced him to do its bidding, having long since come to dominate all aspects of Aaron's life in pursuit of its goal to become human. STEM kills Aaron and attempts to kill Cortez, but Gray fights for control over his own body, managing to shoot himself. Gray wakes up in a hospital room, not paralyzed. Shaw explains he has been unconscious for 2 days following their crash. In reality, Gray is still in Aaron's home. STEM, in full control, explains to Cortez that the psychological strain has finally broken Gray's mind. This was STEM's objective all along, as this allowed STEM to assume control over Gray's mind and body. Gray's consciousness believes the idyllic dream state is found, while STEM kills Cortez and leaves. Did you know? During the fight scenes, the camera often tracks Gray so that he remains in the middle of frame. According to director Lee Whannell, this was achieved by hiding a phone somewhere on actor Logan Marshall Green, which the cameras could then pair to and follow with as much accuracy as possible. Filming started in March 2017 in Lee Whannell's hometown of Melbourne and lasted for 30 days. The film has drawn a lot of comparisons to another 2018 film, Venom 2018, but Lee Whannell said he was not familiar with the comic book character before writing the film. Interestingly, the lead actors of both films, Logan Marshall Green and Tom Hardy, bear a striking resemblance to each other. One of the last sets of numbers STEM asks Gray to write down is 23.976, which is a reference to the exact industry standard frame rate of film. Despite the story being set in the United States, the movie was filmed in Australia, as is evidenced by the interstate highway sign during the police car chase. See you later.